So here we are right now, right after the Icon Boot Camp, and we have the world-renowned Dr. Faith with Andy Shepard. Andy, you just had an amazing experience listening to Dr. Faith. Tell me what happened.
Well, an experience. It's been several experiences, actually. I can't look in this woman's eyes because, I mean, magic happens. I get transformed into other dimensions, but that's another story.
Wow.
Exactly. I mean, I felt the energy impact of you the first time I saw you, and I thought, I must connect with you, find out who you are. Mm-hmm. And when we sat down at lunchtime, you were talking about, going about other dimensions, and then suddenly the whole room just stopped. And all there was just you. We just went into another dimension. It was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I've done quite a bit of meditation, so, I'm used to, this kind of thing.
Yes.
I can't remember looking into somebody's eyes and this happening.
Yeah.
It was outstanding. So what was happening?
What was really happening is that you were open. You were open, right? Mm-hmm. We are in all dimensions at the same time. This is what we call the third physical dimension, finite, right? Mm-hmm. And so I deal in the infinite dimension, not the physical dimension, although I'm projected in the third dimension physically, right? And so you were open to your soul because your soul lives in all the dimensions at the same time. And you got, quote unquote, for lack of better words, caught up in that dimension instantly. And you were experiencing the aspect of your soul in my consciousness.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it was.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to hear more things that happened?
Yeah, tell me. Because you shared with me that there are some different things that you wrote down that were like before and after, how you rated yourself on your emotions and how you felt as far as freedom and as far as passion and all those things. Yeah. Talk about that. And I know you wrote some things down and you did some journaling. Share that with me.
Okay, well, actually, what happened was I kind of extended the exercise that we just did because you took us through visualization and meditation and a series of questions during that. Well, one of the things was like, how joyful do you feel was one of the questions. And we did this all before the meditation. So then afterwards, I was on joyful, I was on 8 and then afterwards 10. Well, the reason I was on 8 was because of this contact that we'd had. Otherwise, I mean, before I'd met you, I was probably on a 3 or a 4. So I'd already had the initial contact with you.
Okay, yeah.
But the meditations were so powerful, they were just incredible. I've done a lot of meditation before, Buddhist meditation, and you took me to levels that I would experience during some really high level Buddhism.
One of the questions, Andrew, at the time that I asked the group was, how unlimited do you feel right now? How unlimited do you feel right now? And how free you feel?
Yeah.
What was the number you were at that time?
Right. Well,
before that question.
Okay, so I've got it all written down here. So how free, I put 6 before, and then afterwards, I went to a 9, but really I was at a 10, but I dropped because my conscious mind started kicking in, and I started going, well, that's not reality.
And how long did that take you to get to a 10?
Instantly. I mean, you just took me there instantly.
Yeah, that's the whole idea about infinite momentum, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my problem was that the thing that I did wrong was I should have just rested in the energy of what you were doing. And I wasn't. I was allowing my brain to come back into action again. And so that's just going to all it's going to do is drag me back to 6s again.
Very good.
So I shouldn't have done that.
Yes,
I
but
should have stayed
however,
with the energy.
what's important to get right now, it's interesting that you said you did that wrong. There's never any wrong thing that we do.
Okay.
It's always probably ineffective choice that we've made. But when you make that choice, you immediately find out, this will work better. Right. So if you hadn't made that choice, you wouldn't know that right now.
That's true.
You see?
Yeah, I do.
So good thing you did that. Yeah?
Thank you. Yes,
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how free do you feel right now compared to how you felt
well, now I feel 10.
You
Definitely
feel a 10. And before the session, where were you? And this was on a scale, everyone, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest of feeling really free and feeling unlimited about yourself, and 1 the least.
Yeah.
So where were you?
Well, for feeling free, I was 6.
You were a 6.
Yeah.
And in literally, what,
In
5 minutes?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
As-
And you still feel that way right now?
I do. Yes. Yeah.
Now, based on your experience, are you free? Are you free and unlimited?
I am.
How do you know that?
Because that's the essence of who we are. That's the
Yes.
core self of us. That's what we are inside, all
And
of us.
so did you experience the core essence of your
Yes, I did.
soul
Yes, I did.
consciously?
Yes,
And that's the key.
exactly.
It's about conscious living. It's about consciously experiencing this.
Mm-hmm.
But what's important, you asked me a question earlier. We were talking about this on, there's a lot of people who are aware of spirit, aware of all these spiritual modalities that's coming out. But the challenge is the ability to be able to use this spiritual substance to make a difference in your physical, tangible life.
Mm-hmm.
To use it in a way that's practical.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And one of the things that Infinite Momentum now does is real practicality, opening up yourself to your soul, to who you really are, and allowing yourself to integrate that energy to make a difference.
Right.
Right? Is there any other questions that you had for me? Because this is really all about you.
Okay.
It's all about you guys.
Well, a question, no. I mean, just something that I did with the list of questions, because then the energy of what had happened, it was like we got another presentation, but I just had to get out of the room because I thought I need to transform this, because it's like, how unlimited do you feel? So I just started, I wrote down in my notebook, I just put what would make you feel limitless, and then I wrote a whole series of things down here of what I needed to do to feel limitless.
Very good.
On each of them. So what makes you joyful?
Yes.
Instead of saying how joyful are you?
Yes.
So then I don't know how to do this technique. So I thought, well, I need to do things that are going to get me into that state.
Absolutely.
So I just wrote it all down.
You're on the right track. We didn't have a lot of time because we only had an
Absolutely.
hour to
Yeah.
squeeze 30 years of work into 1 hour, right? But what we do have in Infinite Momentum now, we have a series of audios. We have like 38 different audios and techniques, in which I have just got recognized for all these techniques, actually. And these techniques would help you to be able to not just feel happy and feel free and joyful and rich and unlimited, but to be able to integrate it, right?
Yes.
So the question you asked just now would allow you to integrate that. But the
Right.
key is holding on to it.
Right.
How do you walk around as a real being of joy?
Right.
Not just feeling joy, but being joy. So that when someone sees you pass by, they go, what was that? Ooh, that was joy, right? What was that? That's unlimitedness. And what happens, most importantly, when you're in that state, you are attracting the same thing back to you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a question about attraction. Just one more question? Or any question about anything that you'd like to know?
What was the question about attraction? I can't remember. What was I asking?
I think you were
We
asking
talked about so many things. I'm sorry.
about how
I'm blown
how
away.
we attract. How do we use this energy to attract?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was something like that.
Right. I don't remember, but yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great. I'd like you to answer that.
Okay, how do we use the energy to attract? Right. Well, first of all, if you had a thought, think of something right now. Think of something negative.
Something negative.
I know you
okay.
might not want to do that, but
Right,
that's
okay.
what you do without realizing
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Think of something that makes you afraid.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead and think of something that makes you afraid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right? And how do you feel? Notice how you feel.
I feel overwhelmed
You feel overwhelmed,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Now, do you
and out of control. I feel
right
like I
now
can't
everything is
control it.
energy, yes?
Yeah.
Including your feelings.
Mhm.
And feelings are indicators. It's indicating something about your soul. It's indicating whether or not your soul likes what's going on or does not like what's going on.
Mhm.
Okay? Now, because everything is energy, energy attracts. Yeah? We like magnet. Magnet attracts. Yes?
Yeah.
So if you have a thought and you feel bad about that, it's indicating that you are retracting things that your soul wants. You're retracting things that your soul wants.